Sure.
Hey, we're here at the Nation of Artists with Hely Gonzalez, and we're just talking to him about his project here. It's kind of ironic because, or poignant, because we've got him and his reflection going on right now. And most of it has to do with him and his portraits of himself. So a little egotistical, some might say.
Sure. I feel like I'm battling narcissism as we speak. Yeah. You know, it's what it is I wanted to do a project where I take no days off from painting, and I want it to be more specific and kind of explore portraiture in general. And I knew that it would be unreasonable to do a portrait of a stranger or someone that I know every day, because I wanted to work from direct observation and painting from life. So in that sense, I was working from been working in the mirror every day since April 1st, and this was day one of painting this portrait, and I'd given myself an hour to paint every day at a minimum, and I considered it, you know, what can I do every day that at the very minimum I'll be a better draftsman, a better painter, a better observer, a better artist. And just from sheer mileage of practicing something every day for an entire month, this is day one, and this is day 31. The same amount of time, but I think not only is my confidence ability improved and gotten much better, but like my confidence in my brushstroke, my confidence in my observations, my sense of light and shape and shadow, and just understanding the relationships between form and mass and light, and what took me here and all these my drawing frustrations, and to have this be the same thing, just the aesthetic of it alone, I think is much more considered.
And you went to art school and studied formally?
I did. I've got my bachelor's degree in fine art. I studied at the Laguna College of Art and Design.
Yep.
Also did an intensive at the Florence Academy of Art in Florence, Italy.
Yep.
In 2006, and I just really trying to do it.
This piece back here is fairly different from your portraits.
Yeah. I was actually on the kick where I had this couch. It was given to me as a gift, and I fell in love with it. I loved how it was built and what it looked like, and I wanted to paint a portrait of the couch in the sense of these things that I feel are no longer made that same way. And so I set up, and I had this tiny little apartment that was maybe 400 square feet at the very most, and I put this couch up, and I painted it, I sized it, and I painted it from direct observation. So I had a couch on top of my table, this couch on top of my table, and I had my easel set up, so I didn't have a couch in my apartment for about 2 months or so while I was painting this thing.
And like, what have you done a whole series like that, or
well,
did you want to?
It started going from there, and when I finished this piece, I started working on a few portraits, and got a roommate, and kind of progressed from this work, and started thinking more internally and thinking about the psychology behind portraiture, and what it means to kind of explore self kind of image and the notions of that, how we associate ourselves with the way we look. And so that's kind of where I was pertaining with this project, or leading to with this project, was trying to understand what it is to associate ourselves with what we look like, I guess. So,
and that piece behind you now, that's also part of the project?
Yes, this big piece here. What I was doing is I do these alla prima paintings, which is one shot. I do them all in one day into one 24-hour period, so I don't allow myself to go and work back into another piece. So what I've done is I have my dailies, and then I have a few other pieces that I'm working up, just like this piece here, so that I can keep myself constantly moving, because sometimes I feel, I'll do a painting in about an hour or 2 hours, and I'm happy with it, and I'm done. I've come to a point of completion with that piece in particular, and so I'm still feeling creative, and I still feel inspired, and so I have another piece here always set up to constantly keep moving, keep painting, keep doing something creative.
And let's have a look at some of the other stuff that's in your studio.
Yeah,
You've
sure.
got this Venetian.
Yeah, I got that mask actually in
Carnival
Venice,
mask.
in my travels to Venice while I was living in Florence. and it was actually from the same place that they got the masks for Eyes Wide Shut. So I thought that was pretty cool.
You've got your cigar boxes.
Yeah, I got a great collection of cigar boxes. Really like them a lot.
You got anything embarrassing in your DVD collection here?
You know,
no, it looks pretty good.
I got Art School Confidential. That's kind of that's just a funny thing about Art School. I got a couple bootlegs in there. Don't let that out. Yeah. And up top, I got
Do you take photos of
I do
your portraits?
Yeah, I take as many photographs as I can. I try to do everything as original and as much myself as possible. And learning to photograph, I've found, is a very handy and useful knowledge, especially as a representational painter. I get really inspired by everything from music to places, photographs, drawings, everything really.
Sketch of the fan next to an actual fan.
Yeah, next to the fan. Yeah, I did a nice charcoal drawing of that fan that I donated to a cerebral palsy foundation for a benefit. So
yeah.
Nice. I've donated a few things.
And the Rolling Stones up there.
Yeah, that's the tribute to my father. He's a big Rolling Stones fan.
And then Dylan over here.
Yeah, I had an obsession with Bob Dylan for a little while.
Miles Davis.
Definitely, yeah. I listen to a lot of jazz standards. Really enjoy that. And you can see here, I got these keys actually while traveling to Barcelona. I did a nice piece, donated those as well to the Alumni Association for the college I went to.
Yeah.
And that piece underneath is another one of the works in progress. I did that. It's kind of a tribute to the Birth of Venus by Botticelli. That's the mirror I painted from, or drew from. So.
And it's also in your portrait series.
Yeah, this is going to go towards portrait series. I'm painting this indirectly, so where I'm working it up layer by layer, and it's kind of the same way in the same fashion that I painted this couch painting is trying to figure out what's the most clever way I can describe a form and paint as little as possible, and let your brain fill in the rest of the work.
Do you keep a daily work schedule? Like, do you try and paint certain hours, or you just kind of?
I work 2 jobs. Yeah. I'm on the grind. I'm on the hustle. I'm starving, and it's good to keep yourself hungry. Because it makes you really wake up and know you're alive the next day.
Yeah.
But I work 2 jobs. I work a lot of hours, and oftentimes I keep a sketchbook because. Oftentimes, I'll be running from one. I work as a bartender, and I go from one bar, and I open one bar, and when I close the bar, I have maybe 2 hours in between shifts, and so I bring my sketchbook and make sure I do my portrait for the day in between my 2 shifts. More important than what the image looks like, I think, is this is one of the ones I did in my sketchbook. More important than what it looks like is the fact that it's getting done.
Yeah.
More so than anything, that's the most important.
The discipline
make sure you
of
do it. Yeah, absolutely. I've committed myself to it. And so these are a few dailies that I did in here. And these are all done from I keep a little mirror in here. And so you can see that my mirror is right in here. It's kind of been banged up a little bit, but yeah, I keep it in there. And I just did another one here with the.
When you're home and painting, do you listen to music, or do you pull up a movie on a computer?
I do. What I've been listening to a lot is audiobooks, books on tape, because it keeps me company. I usually paint at really random hours of the day. Sometimes, like Monday is one of my favorite days to paint because it's my first day off of the week. And I'll sit here and do a nice natural light painting. I'll get a good 5 hours in and paint a nice head. I'll get something like this, or one of these guys where it's painted from light. You can see it. I try to work from natural light as much as I can.
Yeah.
But some are really fun, and I got some really cool light bulbs and start playing around with light.
Great. Well, thanks for joining us for a few minutes.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Cheers.